The biggest mistake you're making as a parent probably has nothing to do with discipline, screen time, or vegetables. The real damage is happening in the quietest moments of your day, and you don't know it's occurring. Today, we're going to talk about something most parenting advice completely skips over. Not whether your child feels loved, but whether your child feels like a burden, or like someone you actually want to be around. Because those two things are completely different, and kids know the difference better than you think. Here's what nobody puts on parenting blogs. Your child already knows you love them. What they're not sure about, what they spend years trying to figure out, is whether you actually like them. And they are running that calculation constantly, every single day, using data points you don't even realise you're generating. There are 4 ways this plays out in daily life. I'm going to walk through all of them. The last one is the one most parents never see coming, and it happens in a moment that feels completely ordinary. Let's start with the most obvious one. Your child walks into the room where you're sitting with your phone. They start telling you something, maybe about school, maybe about a game, maybe about something that will never matter to anyone but them. And you keep scrolling. You nod, you say the right words, but your eyes never leave the screen. To you, that's just a Tuesday. To them, that is a data point. It goes into a mental file they've been building since they were old enough to notice where your attention goes. They've watched you put your phone down for other things. They've seen you stop everything for a work call. They've noticed you laugh for 4 minutes straight at something on social media. They're comparing those moments to moments with them, and they're drawing conclusions you would hate if you knew about them. But putting the phone down is actually just the beginning, because what you do after you put it down is the second way this plays out, and it's where most parents think they're doing fine, when they're not. Your kid tells you something they're excited about. Maybe they learned how to do something new. Maybe they created something. Maybe they discovered a piece of information they think is the most important discovery in human history. And you say, "Oh, that's great, honey," with the exact same tone you use when someone holds the elevator door for you. No follow-up, no curiosity, no actual engagement. Here is what they heard. "Your enthusiasm is inconvenient for me right now." Kids are extraordinarily good at detecting genuine interest versus the performance of interest. Real curiosity has follow-up questions. It has a change in your energy. It has a specific response to the specific thing they said, not a generic acknowledgement that they made noise. When you consistently respond to their excitement with polite indifference, you are teaching them that who they are and what they care about is not particularly interesting to you. That lesson sticks. But there's something that makes this worse. Something most parents are doing at the exact same moment they're being inattentive, and it doubles the damage. This is the third way, and it's the hardest to hear, because most parents do it without realising it. A lot of parents, while they're being politely indifferent to their own child's excitement, are actively comparing that child to someone else's child. Your kid quits something, and instead of exploring why, you sigh and bring up someone who didn't quit. Your kid struggles, and you mention the neighbour's kid who seems to have it all figured out. Every single time you do that, your child updates their file. The entry reads, "I am being measured against a standard I don't meet, and the person doing the measuring is the one whose opinion matters most to me." Research on conditional regard, when children feel approval depends on performance rather than on who they are, shows they start to see themselves through a lens of inadequacy. They stop showing you who they really are, because they know you're looking for someone else. And once they stop showing you who they really are, you've lost something you may never fully get back. So that's 3. The 4th one is different. It's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. And the fix for almost everything I've described comes down to this one thing. It will take you about 4 minutes. One of the most powerful things you can do to make your child feel genuinely liked, not just loved, not just tolerated, but actually liked, is to let them teach you something. You've been the authority in their life since day one. You know more than them about basically everything practical. But they know things you don't. They understand games you've never played, shows you've never watched, skills you've never developed. When you sit down and genuinely say, "Teach me how this works," and then you actually try to learn, something shifts. They are no longer the recipient of your wisdom. They are the competent one. They are the expert. And the message you send in that moment is, you are interesting enough and smart enough and capable enough that I want to learn from you. Now let's talk about the quietest way parents accidentally make their kids feel like a burden. It happens after conflict, and almost no one talks about it. Every parent loses patience. Every parent says something sharper than they meant to, or reacts bigger than the situation warranted. That's not the damage. The damage is what happens in the silence afterward, when both of you have retreated to separate corners and nobody comes back to close the gap. Children don't interpret that silence as the conflict cooling off. They interpret it as love being withdrawn. They sit with that interpretation, and it shapes how safe they feel with you going forward. Repair after conflict is one of the most important things a parent can do, not because it erases what happened, but because it shows the child the relationship is strong enough to survive difficulty. When you go back, acknowledge what happened, take responsibility for your part, and reconnect, you're showing them something priceless. Your love doesn't vanish when things get hard. Here's what all of this actually builds. Because this video isn't just about what goes wrong, when kids experience consistent, genuine interest, when they feel their enthusiasm is met rather than managed, when they're not constantly being measured against someone else, when conflicts get repaired and their weirdness gets celebrated and their expertise gets respected, they develop something no curriculum can teach. A secure sense of their own worth that doesn't depend on performing for approval. You are literally programming their baseline, the internal setting that tells them whether they are worth choosing, worth listening to, worth being around. And you're doing it right now, in the apparently insignificant daily moments that feel like nothing. Here is the long game. Especially for parents who think they have plenty of time to figure this out later, your relationship with your adult child is being written in these moments. The child who feels genuinely liked, not just dutifully parented, is the adult who chooses to call you. The one who wants your opinion on things. The one who brings their real life to you rather than the curated version designed not to disappoint you. The child who felt tolerated becomes the adult who shows up on obligatory holidays and keeps the conversation carefully surface level. The investment you make now doesn't expire. It compounds. So what does this actually look like on a Tuesday morning when you're tired and your kid is talking and your phone is right there? Your child is not asking you to be perfect. They're not asking you to care about every single thing they care about with equal intensity forever. What they are asking, in every single interaction, is whether you actually like the specific, strange, particular person they are. Whether your attention belongs to them or to something more interesting. Whether they are worth the genuine version of you. Because children can handle a lot. They can handle rules they disagree with. They can handle disappointment and limits and all the boring logistical parts of being parented. What they struggle to recover from is the quiet, repeated message that who they are is slightly less interesting than everything else you have going on. The good news is you can change this today. Not with a grand gesture, not with a special weekend or a heartfelt speech. Just by putting the phone down when they start talking. By asking one genuine follow-up question. By letting them explain how their game works and actually paying attention while they do it. By going back after the hard moment and saying, "I handled that badly and you deserved better." Those small choices, made repeatedly over years, build a child who knows they are not a burden. They know they are someone worth showing up for. And that knowledge will carry them through everything.
For parents who want the full step-by-step pathway, the toddler course is here and also linked below. It is designed to help make daily life feel calmer, clearer, and much less overwhelming. See you inside.